Hello guys, we're working back on our interactive notebook today, and for today you will need the page that looks like this and the page that looks like this. So first thing, we're going to start with our table of contents. So on page 43, we'll flip to our table of contents here. On page 43, we're going to label this one dividing fractions. And then I'm going to put triangles in parentheses just so I know what is on that page. So I will flip back to page 43. And just like the last one, I'm going to do this with you on camera so that we can make sure we do this correctly. So the first thing we'll do is cut the border along this big dashed line off of our page. So go ahead and cut the border. Okay, so now that you cut the border, your page should look like this. Next thing you're going to do is cut it right in half along this dashed line. So go ahead, cut along the dashed line. One of these you can just set aside, and then we're going to, on this one, cut out the triangle shape on the dashed line. Do not cut in the middle, only cut out along the dashed line. So we'll cut right here. We will cut right here. We'll cut right here. And we will cut right here. So your shape should look kind of like a kite. The next thing you're going to do is to cut along this dashed line right in the middle. So cut right in the middle. And then you're going to fold along this upper black line. So you should still see the word dividing fractions, but this other side would be on the back where it says fold. So right now, your piece should look like this. So I took it from here, folded it like this. We'll clear some of these scraps out of our way. And I will take my pen and I'm going to label this page dividing fractions. Okay. Next, I will take my glue and I'm going to glue on the side that says fold. You should see this number kind of 4, it looks like on the bottom. You're going to put glue on that. Then you'll flip it, go ahead and glue it right in the middle of your page. So if you did this correctly, it should be glued down. It should look like this folded, and then you should be able to open up these flaps. All right. Now this other one is just an extra, so if you messed up, you could try again, or you can recycle that, use it as scrap paper, whatever you would like. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about this a little bit. So we see our kind of triangle looking shape here, and it says dividing fractions, and we see proper fractions on one side and mixed numbers on the other. So first, let's focus on our left side, and we're going to talk about dividing proper fractions. So we'll go ahead and flip that side up. And on this side, we're going to go ahead and look at the problem 5/6 divided by 2/3. And we want to know, what does that equal? Now, the reason this is a proper fraction is because we see our fraction form and our numerator is smaller than our denominator, which makes it a proper fraction. Okay? So when we are dividing proper fractions, all we need to do is change our division sign to multiplication, and we will multiply by our reciprocal. And all our reciprocal is flipping our second fraction. So the 2 goes on the bottom and our 3 goes on the top. As we see here, we just took it and flipped it. So now when I go to multiply across, I see that I get 15. 5 times 3 equals 15. 6 times 2 equals 12. So I have 15 over 12. When I go to simplify this down, I know I can make one whole, 12 out of 12, or 12 over 12. When I pull that out, I know I have 3 12ths remaining. Now you can go and simplify this even further by dividing top and bottom by 3, getting 1/4, or if you like to leave it as 3/12, that's okay too. So this was an example of how we divide our fractions using proper fractions. So now let's look at an example with mixed numbers. So for our mixed numbers, we are going to divide 5 5/8 divided by 3 1/4. Now our first step is to make our mixed number into an improper fraction. I do this by multiplying and adding. So 8 times 5 is 40, plus 5 more is 45. Denominator stays the same. Same thing over here. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 1 is 13. Denominator stays the same. So our problem now looks like 45 over 8 divided by 13 over 4. My 45 over 8 is going to stay the same. My division sign will turn to multiplication, and I will multiply by my reciprocal. So instead of 13 over 4, I have 4 over 13. Now here, just to make the numbers a little bit more compatible, I can cross cancel. So I see that I have 2 numbers that would be able to do that. 4 goes into 4 one time, 4 goes into 8 2 times. So now my problem looks like 45 times 1, which is 45. 2 times 13 gives me 26. So now I need to go ahead and simplify that down. So I know I have 45 over 26. I can take out one whole. When I take out one whole, I'll just do a quick subtraction problem. And I know I have 19 left. So my final answer is 1 and 19 over 26. All right. So here are 2 examples of how we divide fractions with proper fractions and with mixed numbers. Okay. So now go ahead and flip to page 44. And in our table of contents, we are going to go ahead and label page 44 as dividing fractions practice. All right, so now on page 44, what we're going to do is we are going to take this page and you need to cut out each individual box. Now, if you look very closely, it might not show up on our camera, but there's a very thin line in between. I would suggest just cutting on those. If you're not going to do this all in one sitting, or even if you are, make sure that you do not lose any of these pieces. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, we have 16 pieces, and you'll need to have all of these pieces together. Okay, so go ahead and cut those out, but I paper clip them, put them in a Ziploc, keep track of them somehow or another so that we do not lose them. So go ahead and cut those out now, and I will be back in a second. All right, so now that you have them all cut out, you'll want them in two piles. One will be all of our quotients or all of our answers, and one pile will be all of our division problems. Okay, now this part you need to watch very closely because this is going to directly relate to your assignment, and you need to know what number or which problem relates to each question number. All right, so what we're going to do here is to label our page with 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, and each problem is going to lay out like so. Okay, so glue these down in this order. So number 1 is 10 divided by 5/9. And at any time you can pause and come back to make sure that you can get these down. So you have 10 and 5/9, or 10 divided by 5/9. Number 2 will be 7/8 divided by 1/5. Go ahead and glue that one down. 3 will be 4/9 divided by 12. And 4 will be 16 divided by 2/5. All right, go ahead and flip to our next page, which will be page 45. And label this page 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, we'll go ahead and lay out our problems like so. So number 5 will be 2 divided by 7/8. 6 is 3/4 divided by 6/7. 7 is 8/9 divided by 1/4. And 8 is 9/10 divided by 6. All right, so you should still have your pile of quotients here with you. And if I were to open up my notebook, my 2 pages would look like this. So again, you can pause to make sure you have these in the correct order. And what you are going to do is you will draw an equal sign by each problem. And you will go ahead and solve. All right, so after you solve each problem, you'll look through your quotient cards and figure out which one goes where. Now, I suggest getting a spare piece of paper or an extra piece of paper to work these out because it would be a little squished down here. So I'm going to go ahead and use my triangle from before, and we'll go ahead and work out number 1, which is 10 divided by 5/9. Now my whole number stays the same. My division sign turns to multiplication, and I will flip my fraction. So 9/5. My denominator, anytime I have a whole number, will be 1. And I will go ahead and multiply across. 10 times 9 is 90. 1 times 5 is 5. When I go ahead and simplify this into a whole number, I get 18. And a way I could check if I didn't know that off the top of my head is just do a simple division problem off to the side. And I see 18 is my answer for number 1. So I will go ahead and I will take my cards and I will flip through till I find 18. I'm going to go ahead and glue that next to my card right here. So now I see 10 divided by 5/9 equals 18. And you're going to go ahead and do that for each of these problems. Now for your assignment, it will just be a typical Schoology assignment, and it will just say, what did you get for answer or question number 1? What did you get for question number 2? All I want to know for those questions is whatever is on this side. So you're 18. All right. I will go ahead and put question 1 in there. So you got a freebie, but the rest of these are on your own. If you need help, you can always come to our 1 o'clock meeting. All right. Have a great day.